So recently I went online to look for stories of adults who got taller in adulthood, and I wanted to find some stories that would talk about weight gain. I wanted to see if, in talking about how they got taller in adulthood, if there would be anything in their story about weight gain. And I had in mind, okay, find this stuff like I found out about pregnant women, how I saved that information, pregnant women who got taller. I saved those stories and I shared it on this channel. I said, let me find some stories of adults who got taller in their adulthood and see if they talked about weight gain, if any of the stories included weight gain. And so here's one of them, okay? And I'll just read it here. It says, fellas, have any of you experienced growth spurts, increase in height and mass in your early mid-20s? Now, again, this is anecdotal evidence, and I have reason to believe that there is a level of credibility here, more than 50%. So I think it's worth mentioning for a number of reasons. I won't get into all of that. I'll just continue with the account here. It says here, when I was 19, I was only 5'11", or 180 centimeters. Now I am in my mid-20s and a shade under 6'3", or 189 centimeters to be exact. I have also gained a good 30 pounds of weight. Chest and arms got bigger without even going to the gym. So again, this reiterates, assuming that this story is indeed true, I believe that likely it is. It's from 7 years ago, okay? 7 years ago. It's been on there a long time. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why wouldn't it be true? Because it's just a natural course of events that as one gets taller, their weight actually increases. It increases. That's the natural order of things. Okay? Even if someone was, I'm not going to complicate the subject right now. Let's just keep it simple. 30 pounds. Okay, let's do the math. Remember in my previous videos about height increases and how it's related to weight gain, I say there's an average of a 6-pound weight gain per inch. Now, we do not know the frame of this man. We do not know. But possibly we could guess, because he says his chest and arms got bigger. So I would imagine that even if he was a small frame, he was moving toward a medium or large frame. Okay? So let's just assume that this was a large frame person, not overweight, but a healthy, large frame. And that would mean that his weight gain per inch would be about 6.6 pounds per inch. Now, he said that he was 5'11", and he grew to a shade under 6'3". So let's just say that was 4 inches of height. Well, 4 times 6.6 pounds would give us 26.4 pounds. If you round up, that's 30 pounds. That's 30 pounds. And as he mentioned here, he didn't gain just height, he gained mass as well. Okay? So, could the amount of mass that he gained, might that have been around 4 or 5 pounds of mass? Okay? See, when I talk about weight gain coming with height gains, I'm not talking about becoming fatter or, your frame changing. That's not what I'm talking about. For you to maintain your frame, that's what I'm talking about. If you are a small frame, each inch is going to cost you 5.4 pounds. Those 5.4 pounds, if done correctly, it won't make you fatter. You will maintain your small frame. You will just be an inch taller at your small frame. In this story that we're looking at right now, this person got taller by 4 inches, but their frame became larger. That's what this person is reporting. He said his chest and arms got bigger. So it wasn't just height. So in our calculation, when we figured in just height, we came up with 26.4 pounds. If we add mass, well, there's the 30. There's an extra 4 or 5 pounds. You take, well, to be exact, 3.6 pounds. Let's say that was 3.6 pounds of mass. And he noticed it in his chest and the arms. There's your 30 pounds. There it is. Anecdotal evidence is very helpful. A lot of people put down anecdotal evidence, but no, it is helpful. A lot of times that's how we first discover whether something is even worth investigation, is anecdotal evidence. And so, anyway, I had my own, you might call it an anecdotal story or evidence, because it wasn't in some formal published study, but I had my own experience. And multiple times, the height increases will come with weight gain. And then after hiatus, it just really hit me. It's like, yo, if we want to get taller, we must chase weight gain. We have to chase it. And we chase it the butterfly way, which I'll be talking about soon. But we chase weight gain. And look, this can be easy. It can be simple, because look, in this story, it just happened. And it can be simple. It just happened. Okay? So it don't have to be complicated. It ain't got to be complicated. It's simple. So, this is just one story that we can consider as, should we call it proof? Or anecdotal proof, or anecdotal evidence? Or it's a story that backs up backs up the science. Oh man, these battles with words. Okay, so I'm gonna just say it how I want to say it. Okay, this story backs up what I was talking about, and again, it's not something I made up. It's something I noticed that happens in life. It's just the way things are. That's why you have height and weight charts. Every inch there is an increase in pounds. That's life. Okay? We'll finish reading it here. It says, my older brother also went from being 6 foot at 20 to about 6'5" now. Even my cousins have grown taller and heavier in their early 20s. Just a beautiful account here. It's beautiful. It says it. So this is how simple it can be, guys. Okay? And again, they were in their early to mid 20s. It says here, how common is it for a man to grow in his 20s? And have you or anyone you know experienced it? So, again, we know people grow tall in their 20s. Even mainstream academia, mainstream medicine recognizes this. But the question that many men have is, how do we ensure that it happens? How do we make it happen? How do we cause it to happen? Is there a way that we could spark it? And what I'm presenting to you is, yes. I'm not saying that it will happen for every person, but it is my belief that yes, it can be sparked. What happens to so many men without them even trying? They're just living life, and they're just, it's not like they were trying to grow tall. It just happened. Well, again, mastery of phenomena. How do we make it happen? Well, one, chasing weight gain. I believe most men are trying to make sure that they don't gain weight. Not to say that they're thinking about height or whatever. The average man may not even be thinking about height and things related to that. But I'm just saying, at least in America, people are obsessed with weight. They're obsessed with it. And everybody's afraid of the fat monster. They don't want to get fat. Hey, that's, fair enough. But, even bodybuilders, people who want to build muscle, they restrict their calories. And Ronnie Coleman, I think he's an 8-time Mr. Olympia, he said that's the biggest mistake these young bodybuilders make. They're not getting bigger because they don't eat enough calories. They don't eat enough. If a person wants to grow muscle, we're talking about muscle, even just muscle, they have to I want to use a word, but I want to save it to another separate video. So let me end it here. I'm going to read these last 2 sentences here. Oh yeah, I already read that. Well, how common is it for a man to grow in his 20s? And have you or anyone you know experienced it? Yeah, well, hey, hopefully you get to experience it. I believe it can even happen in the 30s. And in my case, I believe it can happen in the 40s. Even the mid-40s. We'll save that for another video. Peace.